Hello, and welcome to the Detox Dude's Kitchen. What is up, my friends? Welcome to another edition here of the Detox Dudes. We're going to be talking about a very, very important subject, teaching you how to get rid of parasites under and on your skin. We are going to be discussing skin parasites, okay? This isn't really a good camera angle for me, so I'm going to widen my legs so that I can be shorter. Okay, so parasites on and under the skin, okay? The skin is the largest organ in the body. You may not know this, but most people, as they have parasites in their intestines and their brain and their kidneys and their liver, also would have parasites in the largest organ in the body. Okay, there are several times in my life when I had, real life case examples of this. One of the first times I can remember is, well, of course, skin funguses from wrestling and jiu-jitsu, all of that great stuff. All kinds of funky bacterias that other wrestlers had, that I've seen plenty of times. But also, I had something called bird mites. When I lived in New York City, I had a window air conditioner, and in the summer, the birds would the birds would have mites, and the mites would actually get through the air conditioning vent and go into my bed, and they went in my nostrils, in my ear canal, in my eyes. It was hell. I mean, I was itching like crazy. Ultimately, I forget how I actually got rid of it. It was definitely with Western medicine and removing the air conditioning unit, and it was a pain. It took weeks. Had I known about these modalities, it would have been a breeze. But mites are a form of a parasite, right? So, other times I've gone into public pools or like I went into a mud bath once and I left with this terrible, terrible skin parasite. I've had in the past intense itching, almost like feeling like a mite underneath my skin and my kneecap. And most recently, the reason I'm making this video is I've noticed that when I take a hot shower, in particular, I have these little things on my pec, I swear it looks like little worms that are underneath the skin. I've seen plenty of clients have worms underneath their skin, and they've killed it with either a zapper or some other, well, actually, the only time I've ever seen it successfully killed is with a zapper, but in both cases, there was a huge scar. So I refuse to use that zapper because I don't want to deal with that scar. Though I'm under the impression that the zapper you actually hold in your hands. I think these individuals use the zapper directly on the skin parasites. Anyway, I'm not messing around with that just yet, and it's a pretty minor issue, so I'm not bugging about it. Just know that most of us are dealing with some form of microscopic funguses, yeasts, bacteria, and parasites and viruses that are living on and under the skin. So cleaning the skin is super, super important. And if you're dealing with any acute issues, this is the formula. So what we have here is one of 3 antiparasitic formulas used in conjunction with DMSO. Okay, dimethyl sulfoxide is a liquid that's a carrier, and it's a shooter, right? So whatever you mix with the DMSO actually gets shot directly into your blood. So you have to make sure that your hands are clean and that whatever you're mixing the DMSO with, is not toxic. For instance, if you were to take DMSO and put it on your skin with some sort of drug, it would actually penetrate your blood-brain barrier, right? And you would actually experience that drug. So don't get any crazy ideas on me like, taking Adderall and mixing it with DMSO and putting it on your arm and making a cream. Or if you're not into the uppers, what about taking some Xanax and mixing it with DMSO and putting it on your arms before a party? Or if you're not into the downers, no, I'm just totally fucking around with you guys here. Don't do any of that. So basically, there's 3 formulas I use. BioPure's 10-in-1 oil. This is the German version. It's actually not as good. German BioPures. There's a whole crazy story about why I have this, but normally I would just buy BioPure's 10-in-1. I don't think it's, there we go, boom. So go with the BioPure 10-in-1, or of course turpentine, pure gum spirits. Be very, very, very careful about the dose if you were ever to take this internally. Watch my other videos and read the disclaimers. Or neem seed oil, excellent for parasite eggs. Okay, so you know, for a long time I was trying to figure out ways to kill these buggers, and I was just using one of these three, and I never mixed it with the DMSO. Once I mixed it with the DMSO, it was a whole different game. That's when it started to become really effective. So an example of how we would do this, I'll just go for it right now. Do a little strip show for you. Okay, so an example of how we would do this, I'll keep this on the table, is today I'll choose the BioPure 10-in-1, okay? And again, the area I'm talking about is on the pecs. You're not gonna be able to see it right now, but I have these little like dots slash just things that pop up, and the reason, so again, before you label me as crazy, the reason that I think that they're skin parasites is because when I touch them, they actually disappear. So they pop up and then they disappear. And another thing, by the way, is that parasites love scar tissue. And in jiu-jitsu, one of the most insane, intense areas of being broken down and ripped apart on a pretty much daily basis. No, not pretty much. On a bi-daily basis, if that means. I used to train twice a day, okay? So twice a day, every single day, rarely did I take a day off. I was ripping these muscles apart. Shoulder, under the armpit here, the pec. I mean, jiu-jitsu is all about grips, pushing, pulling, torquing the neck, having your neck and shoulders torqued. So all of these muscles have been ripped apart so much that there's a reason that they can get in there, right? So again, the combination of that and the fact that I'm literally seeing them appear and disappear is leading me to believe, and the fact that this stuff has killed over maybe 50, 60, 70% of it already, leading me to know that it is skin parasites, okay? And again, the other thing is that I've seen tons of situations where there's just no question, right? You can literally see things moving. I've seen clients and videos and documentaries of parasites everywhere, right? Anywhere. So again, I'm not meaning to scare you here. Oh, that was really dumb. I was just speaking to the camera and the microphone was over here, so hopefully you guys still heard me. Alright, so what I would do is I would take about 4 or 5 drops of the BioPure, put it on my pec, and then take the DMSO, about 3 or 4 drops, and rub it in and massage it in as deeply as possible, okay? You can do a little dance back and forth while you do it. Wherever the parasites may be, you want to make sure you're really massaging it in there, okay? Again on the other side. Now, by the way, DMSO dries the skin out. So one thing that you should do is after you put it into the area, okay, I wouldn't do this. You could do it systemically on your whole skin, but don't use a ton of DMSO, you know? You only really use like 20 drops of DMSO for your whole body. So you would mix it in a cream. And another thing you can do is that when you're done rubbing it in, if you don't mix it in a cream like coconut oil or cacao butter, then what you would do is you'd wait for it to dry for a few minutes, and then, I don't want to get this all filthy. And then what you would do is take some moisturizing cream. This is a cacao butter, coconut oil, and vetiver mixture. And you would put that on your skin, okay? To negate the effects of the DMSO. The drying effects. So, okay, there you have it. That's how to take care of skin parasites on your acute skin parasites, funguses, candida, any kind of acute skin issue. There are other ways of dealing with systemic skin cleaning. One really good example is Dr. Kassar's vodka skin solution. But this is more for acute situations, okay? So, that's all I got for you today. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment below. Subscribe, leave a comment below. Tell me how much you love me. And tell me how I'm the best YouTuber on YouTube. And how I'm just the smartest. That's all I got for you. Peace.
Summer in the hills, those hazy days I do remember. We were running still, had the whole world at our feet, watching seasons change. Our roads were